Our first update is from New South Wales Supreme Court in Sydney, where the high-profile murder trial of Samuel John Rokomaqisa, accused of killing Bilal Hamzi and plotting to kill his brother Ibrahem, has ended without a verdict after the jury was discharged.
Samuel Rokomaqisa, the house has been surrounded. You need to make your way to the back door.
After weeks of deliberation, the jury informed the court they were unable to agree on any of the charges. Justice Robert Hulme then confirmed the panel was unlikely to reach a decision even with more time, formally discharging them and thanking them for their service. Bilal Hamzi was gunned down outside a Sydney CBD restaurant on June 17, 2021, after 10 shots were fired from a stolen Audi. Just months later, a failed plot to kill his brother Ibrahem unfolded, with a stolen car circling his North Sydney home and missing him by only 58 seconds. During the trial, jurors were shown CCTV footage of Bilal's final moments, showing him stumble and fall after being hit. Witnesses described desperate efforts to help him as he lay bleeding on the pavement before being rushed to hospital, where he died shortly after. Fijian-born Rokomaqisa has ties to the Al-Madine crime network, was charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, and carjacking an elderly man following the failed second plot. Both Bilal and Ibrahem were named as senior figures in the Hamzi organized crime network, which was at war with the Al-Madines at the time. The matter will return to court next month, when prosecutors and the defense will discuss next steps, including whether a retrial will be ordered. Staying in Sydney, our next update is on Comanchero Sergeant-at-Arms Tarek Zahed, who was arrested in Western Sydney, after spending several weeks on the run. Police had been searching for the 45-year-old across New South Wales and Victoria. The Raptor Squad later released footage and images of his arrest. Zahed was located at an Airbnb property on Yates Avenue in Dundas Valley. Officers moved in at about 7 p.m. on Friday and took him into custody. He was initially transported to Gladesville Police Station, before being transferred to Corrective Services New South Wales under an outstanding warrant. A 38-year-old man who was also present at the property was detained but later released without charge. During a search of a vehicle at the property, police allegedly located $12,800 in cash, which were seized for further inquiries. Zahed had been wanted since late September after the New South Wales State Parole Authority cancelled his parole. This followed an allegation of common assault in Victoria, where he was believed to have been involved in a confrontation outside the Love Machine nightclub in Melbourne. The venue, which has long-standing connections to the Comanchero, has been the site of multiple violent incidents, including one in which Zahed was filmed clashing with security staff. The nightclub was temporarily closed earlier this year by the Victorian regulator. Zahed had also recently failed to appear at Newtown local court on driving-related charges. Since his release from prison late last year, he had reportedly been splitting his time between Sydney and Melbourne, which police believe allowed him to avoid consistent surveillance and pressure from the anti-Bikey Raptor Squad. There were also widespread rumors suggesting Zahed had fled overseas. These reports have now proven to be incorrect, given the location and circumstances of his arrest. Police had been searching for the 45-year-old across New South Wales and Victoria, monitoring associates, transport routes, safe houses, and known Comanchero-linked locations as part of a coordinated cross-border operation. Given the circumstances, the court is expected to treat this parole breach as serious. Zahed's movements between states, his failure to appear in court, and his suspected involvement in further confrontations will likely be viewed as a disregard for the conditions placed on his release. It is expected that authorities will argue he poses an ongoing risk to public safety and that his time back in custody may be extended while the outstanding matters are dealt with. Staying in Sydney, our next update is on a week-long crackdown targeting illegal guns running across the state. New South Wales police have arrested 45 people and seized 518 firearms and firearm parts during this crackdown.
Police search warrant, open the door! Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Police search warrant!
The coordinated operation, which was a part of the National Illicit Firearms Working Group, involved police from every Australian jurisdiction, along with federal agencies and even New Zealand police, running between October 13th and 19th. Led by the State Crime Command's Drug and Firearms Squad, officers executed 20 search warrants, issued 15 firearm prohibition orders, conducted 91 compliance checks, and carried out over 1,600 safe storage inspections. In total, police recovered 270 firearms, 89 firearm parts, 19 imitation guns, and a significant number of 3D printed and privately made weapons. Detective Superintendent John Watson, commander of the Drug and Firearms Squad, said criminals are constantly innovating, but so are police. These 3D printed components may look harmless, but they become lethal weapons once assembled, he said. This operation shows what's possible when agencies work together to disrupt illegal manufacturing and trafficking. Watson added that every illegal firearm seized represents lives protected and harm prevented, reaffirming the NSW Police's commitment to gun safety, compliance, and community protection. Next we move to the Supreme Court of Victoria, where newly released court documents have revealed that Melbourne crime boss George Marogi once plotted an elaborate helicopter prison escape from Barwon Prison in 2022, followed by plans to flee Australia on a luxury yacht. The plan was uncovered when Corrections Victoria intelligence officers intercepted unmonitored phone calls and raided Marogi's cell, where they found aerial images of the prison, design sketches, and a tax invoice for a yacht. Authorities later seized a 28-meter yacht named Bahama, believed to have been purchased with proceeds from his gang, the Notorious Crime Family. Investigators also discovered files containing private information about Barwon prison staff, their families, and a judge, further heightening security concerns. The details surfaced during Marogi's ongoing legal bid to challenge his prison conditions, which he claims are inhumane. His affidavits describe repeated strip searches, extended solitary confinement, and restricted access to open air. He has compared his treatment to that of Nelson Mandela and is seeking a return to general population. However, prison authorities maintain that Marogi remains a major escape and security risk, citing his history of assaults, smuggling contraband, violent incidents, and even attempts to use hidden devices to access encrypted chat apps while in custody. Corrections Victoria argued that relaxing his restrictions would endanger the safety and order of the prison. The case continues before the Supreme Court of Victoria, where court will decide whether Marogi's human rights have been violated or if his strict confinement remains justified. Our next update comes from the Australian Federal Police, who worked alongside Chilean authorities on a major international organised crime operation. The joint effort resulted in 5 arrests and the seizure of 36 kilograms of cocaine that was intended to be trafficked into Australia. The operation, that was codenamed Op Mini Water, began in October 2025 after the police detected the drugs hidden inside 2 pieces of mining equipment. The cocaine, with an estimated Australian street value of $11.7 million, was removed and the shipment was carefully reconstructed and monitored with AFP support as it continued toward Australia. In Western Sydney, a 26-year-old and a 37-year-old were arrested after allegedly attempting to access the drugs at a property in St. Mary's. Police recovered angle grinders, sledgehammers, safety gear, and other equipment believed to be used to cut into the mining equipment. Both men were charged with attempting to import a commercial quantity of cocaine and attempting to possess a commercial quantity, offences that carry a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. They were refused bail in Penrith Local Court and are scheduled to reappear on December 19, 2025. Meanwhile in Chile, AFP support enabled the PDI to execute 4 search warrants in Ovalle, Serena, and San Miguel, leading to the arrest of 3 men involved in the scheme. Investigators also seized mobile phones and mining equipment linked to the operation. The 3 Chilean suspects face drug trafficking and illicit association charges. AFP Commander Kate Ferry said the arrests demonstrate the AFP's proactive approach to stopping criminal networks before illicit drugs enter Australia. Organised crime groups often try to exploit vulnerabilities at gateways around the world. Through these partnerships, we are disrupting serious criminal activity and bringing offenders to justice, she said. Authorities warn that anyone involved in drug importation faces severe penalties, including life imprisonment, both in Australia and overseas. The AFP also reminded the public that sharing information about criminal activity can help prevent harm and protect communities. Next up, Perth, where the trial for the killing of Rebels Bikey Nick Martin has reached its final stage after 1 week of evidence in the WA Supreme Court. David Pai, a former Rebels and Comanchero member, is accused of organizing the assassination of Martin at the Kwinana Motorplex in December 2020. Martin was shot in front of spectators, friends, and family. Prosecutors claim that Pai paid a former soldier to carry out the long-distance shooting as part of a planned contract killing. During the proceedings, Pai chose not to enter the witness box or provide personal testimony. His legal team kept their case brief, submitting only 2 items as evidence. The first was an extract from a psychiatric report relating to the sniper who fired the fatal shot. The second was a bundle of photographs showing $250,000 in cash, which has been linked to the payment for the killing. The trial was also marked by an unexpected twist when the judge granted Pai bail, a rare move for someone facing such serious charges. The reason being Pai's inability to access his prescribed anti-anxiety medication called diazepam, while in custody. Prison staff had phased this drug out due to its addictive potential, despite his psychiatrist's assurances it was necessary for his mental health. Without it, Pai argued, his anxiety would spike to levels that would prevent him from following the trial, instructing his counsel, or participating effectively, risking a miscarriage of justice. Prosecutors surprisingly supported the application, and the judge agreed. Justice Joseph McGrath, who is hearing the case without a jury, will now review all evidence presented throughout the week. He has asked both legal sides to return the following week to give closing submissions. After those submissions, Justice McGrath alone will decide Pai's guilt or innocence. This trial has drawn significant attention because of its connection to the Perth's Bikey scene and because it provides a rare view into organized violence allegedly involving paid assassins and criminal networks. The outcome now depends entirely on the judge's assessment of the information presented during the trial. Our next update is from the Australian Federal Police, who have charged a 50-year-old Double Bay man with impersonating an AFP officer and possessing prohibited firearms. The matter came to police attention when a member of the public handed in an AFP badge and identification to Bondi Police Station. A small quantity of cocaine was found hidden behind the identification card, prompting further inquiries that led police to the man. Following this, AFP officers executed a search warrant at the man's Double Bay residence, where they seized a range of imitation law enforcement equipment. Police located hats and shirts bearing AFP insignia, multiple fraudulent identification cards and badges linked to the AFP, New South Wales Police and even the FBI. Officers also recovered 4 replica firearms, 11 high-quality gel blasters, fake hand grenades, large quantities of steroids, and approximately 14 grams of cocaine. The man has been charged with possessing prohibited firearms, supplying a prohibited drug, and impersonating a Commonwealth official. The impersonation charge carries a maximum penalty of 2 years imprisonment. AFP Detective Superintendent Peter Fogarty said the misuse of police identification, and the act of posing as law enforcement officer is a serious and dangerous act and will not be tolerated. He acknowledged the member of the public who handed in the badge, stating that community assistance plays a key role in identifying and preventing this type of offending. He is set to appear in the Parramatta local court. Our final update is on the Alameddine crime network, and about police making arrests inside a luxury apartment building linked to members of this notorious crime syndicate. Several senior members were recently arrested inside a new apartment tower in Marylands, known as One Main Lane. The building is owned through companies linked to property developer Joe Nahas and his business partner billionaire gambler Željko Ranagajek. While Joe denies any involvement in crime, his brother Andy has appeared socially alongside senior Alameddine figures. A Rolling Stone photoshoot in 2021 showed Andy standing with rapper Ali A. Huncho and several key Alameddine members, many of whom were later charged or fled overseas. Police say the building has housed multiple people connected to organized crime, including members of the KVT crew who act as enforcers for the Alameddine group. It is believed that the Alameddine network is currently fractured. Some members remain loyal to Rafat Alameddine, who fled to Lebanon, while others have split away and formed new groups, leading to ongoing shootings and retaliation across Sydney. At the same time, Joe Nahas' rise in the property sector has been funded through complex structures linked to Ranagajek. Both men have denied knowing that criminal figures were living in their Marylands development. However, the situation has drawn heavy police attention and renewed public scrutiny over the connections between high-end property development and the infamous Alameddine gangland network. If you're looking for more exciting and eye-catching regular Bikie and organized crime updates, don't hesitate, smash that subscribe button, spread the word rapidly, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome and take care. Wu-Tang.